What's up guys, Matt Monas here, and this happens to be the OnePlus Two. Now just recently I did a video on the 5 reasons why you should buy one, and now today I'm going to be doing a full review and talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So without wasting any more time, let's find out if the OnePlus Two is actually a flagship killer. Let's start with the design, and if you've seen the OnePlus One, then the new design will look somewhat familiar. There are differences though, and the biggest one is the addition of a metal band that surrounds the phone. The volume and power buttons sit on the right side of the phone, and on the left is a new toggle that lets you change the notification settings to no interruptions, priority, or all notifications. It's such a nice little feature that I wish more phones had. The back has the same sandstone finish that the OnePlus One has, and you either love it or you hate it. I personally like it as it adds grip to the phone, it's different, and if you get bored you can always swap it out for a different backplate. Overall, the design is nothing special, but the added metal and sandstone back make the phone feel like a premium device. Just like the original OnePlus One, the display remains the same size at 5.5 inches with a resolution of 1920 by 1080 and 401 pixels per inch. It's been improved quite dramatically. It has better colors, viewing angles, and overall it's just better to look at. It also comes with a screen protector pre-installed to prevent you from scratching the glass underneath. The other unique feature you'll notice is the addition of a fingerprint scanner that can also act as a home button. You can't press it down like you can on the iPhone or Galaxy S6, but the scanner is fairly accurate but sometimes slow. Sometimes it's delayed from the moment I press my thumb down to when the phone actually recognizes it. But overall, it's still worth using over entering your own personal PIN or pattern. If you look at the bottom of the phone, you'll notice 2 speaker grills and a new type of port. That's a USB Type-C port, the future of USB cables, and it has a lot of good things going for it, like being able to be plugged upside down and carry more information. I literally spent 10 minutes just plugging and unplugging cables because it felt great to get it right every single time. Sometimes adopting a new technology right away is not always a good thing. I'm all for USB Type-C, but because OnePlus is one of the newer phones that are using it, it means I only have one cable to use. I either have to purchase more cables in case I lose this one, or drag the same cable everywhere I go. Now OnePlus is selling USB Type-C cables on their website for between $5 and $10, but as of right now they're out of stock. Sitting on each side of the USB Type-C port is a speaker grill. At first I thought this was going to produce some great sound, but only the right grill acts as the speaker, and the other is simply there for aesthetics and maybe to hide the microphone. The sound is nothing special, nor does it get very loud compared to other smartphones on the market. It does include some enhancements through equalization, but for the most part I found it didn't do much to improve audio quality. Next up is software and performance, and I have the 64GB model, which means mine comes with 4GB of RAM instead of 3, and when you combine that with a Snapdragon 810 processor and almost stock Android, you have a very fast phone. My experience has been pretty good so far, and the only lag I've noticed is when you press an app, there's a fraction of a second delay before it starts loading. Besides that, the most intensive games run really well, and I didn't experience any overheating issues like on the One M9. The plastic back seems to do a very good job at diffusing the heat. The OnePlus Two is running Oxygen OS 2.0, and for the most part it's pretty close to stock Android, but it does come with a few tricks up its sleeve. For example, you can reorganize your quick settings shortcuts by moving the icons around, switch the Home Recent Tabs key with the back key, or disable them and enable on-screen buttons. It even has a dark theme if you want to change it from the default light one. Now if you swipe from left to right, you'll be presented with a new feature called Shelf Life, which shows you your most used apps and recent contacts. For the most part, I found it useless, and you have the option of turning it off. Now I did have some issues with Oxygen 2.0. For example, text scaling in Google Docs was completely off. And if you used a light theme in some of your favorite apps, such as Falcon or Phoenix, it would cause the program to crash. Now, OnePlus Two just actually released an update, Oxygen OS 2.0.1, and it fixed all of these issues. It also fixed an issue with the camera layout, stage fright, and of course, improved battery. And speaking of battery, it's 3300 milliamps, and it's non-removable, and for the most part, it provides really good battery life. Before the update, I was getting about the same battery life as the LG G4, but with the latest update, it's even better, and I can probably push a day and a half with medium use. Now, the phone doesn't have wireless charging, fast charging, or NFC. With Android Pay making its debut, it might be an issue for some. I also want to mention that there are two versions of this phone, a 16GB model which comes with 3GB of RAM, and a 64GB model which comes with 4. Now, this phone does not have micro SD card expansion, so if you're someone who carries around their music or their pictures, you might want to offer the 64GB model. Now, for those individuals who carry two phones for personal use and work, you might want to consider the OnePlus Two because it has dual SIM capabilities. You can customize it to choose which SIM card you want to call from, text message, and send data. Finally, the camera, which actually looks like it's upside down. It's 13 megapixels, has dual LED flash, an aperture of f2.0, laser autofocus, and optical image stabilization. Overall, it's a good camera, and I was impressed with the photo quality. Now, it's not going to be as good as the one on the G4 or Galaxy S6, nor does it have any manual controls. But it's perfect for Instagramming, taking pics of the family, and overall general use. Now, originally I had issues with autofocusing at times, but the recent update seems to have corrected that problem. You can record video up to 4K, however I found it had a hard time picking a focus. Hopefully this is something that can be fixed in a future update. So what's the bottom line then? Should you go out there and purchase the OnePlus Two? Well, first thing I want to say is this is definitely not a flagship killer, but you are getting a flagship experience. You're getting amazing specs and overall good user experience for half the cost of other high-end phones on the market. Now, it does have some shortcomings such as no wireless charging, no quick charging, and no NFC, and most importantly, a very terrible invite system. I definitely think it's worth the purchase if you can get an invite, but if you can't, for $100 more or almost $100 more, the Moto X style starts to look very attractive. So what do you guys think of the OnePlus Two? Are you guys going to hang in there, get an invite, and purchase the phone? And let me know what you like and dislike about this product. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe. And I'll see everybody in the next video.